Hey everybody, I just wanted to do a quick addendum to my "Is it live or is it TONEX" video. I got some comments that, and I probably should have thought things through a little bit more before I did it, but I got some comments like, well, the TONEX is darker. It sounds like there's a blanket over it, or it's. But then some people said, well, the TONEX sounds more like the album. So I mean, everybody's opinion varied. But what I wanted to do was, I made the mistake of putting the flanger. I'm going to show you that in a second. Putting the flanger into the signal chain, into the TONEX, into my interface, and I'm using an AX-IO for this. But just going into the interface, then it goes into the DAW. So I probably should have thought that through a little bit more, but I was just I thought the flanger was more important for capturing the tone than for playing the clips than perhaps the TONEX versus the real amp and all that stuff. So anyway, I redid just a couple of songs just so you can hear it. I put a bypass loop switcher on the flanger, so the flanger bypasses. I mean, the signal's not going through it while I'm playing the straight chords, only while the flanger is engaged. Makes a huge difference. And I also made sure I was using the G1265 cabinet in the capture, the new capture, so I'm using the unbound 68 volt, because that's what I had the amp set at also, the 68 volt. Or Variac set at 68 volts. So I'm using the unbound 68 volt, which is the 1960B Marshall cabinet loaded with the G1265s. So I'm thinking now you might say it's too bright. But I don't know. It's kind of, as I like to say, it's kind of cork sniffing here. What we're showing is that the TONEX is affected just like everything else. Cables, the pedals that suck tone, all of that sort of thing. So I didn't touch any EQ. This is everything straight up noon in the TONEX interface. So this is what it is, and I think it's pretty close. And if you had to dial it and do some things, but I think it's safe to say that the blanket came off. So anyway, I'm going to show you this, and then we're going to listen to the clips, and then we're done. All right, here's that little loop switcher I got going on, so the flanger is out of the signal chain until I kick that button in. So here it is, just going into the AX-IO. I'm not running that TONEX pedal, it's going straight into the DAW. Okay, there you have it. Hopefully that kind of clears up some of the confusion, and I apologize for that happening. I should have paid more attention to the actual, I know what tone suck does to the sound and all that stuff, so I should have paid more attention. But like I said, I was more concerned about getting the flanger in those fair warning tracks. Again, I always appreciate the comments. I appreciate the feedback. You guys got great ears out there, so you know where to find me. Make your comments. Until next time, see you later.